Welcome to the 544 Port Podcast. We are your hosts,
Bill Wisber.
Justin Libertor, coming to you for a Christmas special. As you can see, we have an extra guest with us today, our executive producer, Matt McCabe. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys.
So we had a little idea coming from our executive producer to do one more show here this year before the end of the year, before 2024 comes to an end, to end our 30-year anniversary with a Christmas special. So we brought our executive producer on since it was his idea, and we're just going to kind of roll with it. We're going to catch up a little bit, have a few drinks, have a few laughs, and then we got a couple Christmas surprises. So I guess first up, Bill Bush or Isber Bush, whatever you guys' names are. What have you guys been up to since the show ended?
Well, Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing now, what you've been doing since high school?
That's a good idea.
All right. So, yeah, I think a lot of you listeners out there probably know me better as Bush, but since high school, went on to college at Clarion, spent a couple years as Bill's roommate up there, and currently working at Carnegie Mellon in our human resources department.
A lot of smart kids go there.
Yeah, a lot of smart kids go there. I'm reminded of that frequently. A lot of smart professors that work there.
Yeah. I bet you blend right in there.
Yeah.
Good.
Exactly.
Good.
My secretary is a CMU grad. Shout out to Michelle Rash. She's a CMU grad, yeah.
Nice.
She's smart.
CMU connection.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's why she really runs the building, because she's the brains of the
She's the brains. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys ready for Christmas?
I guess as ready as you can be.
That's what I was just gonna say. As ready as you can be, really.
Yes.
I think all the shopping's done. My wife always wants everything wrapped immediately and under the tree as soon as possible. Where I'm like, I'll probably do it this weekend sometime. I'm like, I don't know. It's still in the closet. I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Megan wrapped gifts earlier this week, and I have Megan's gifts on the shelf next to me and also in the closet behind me. So I'll probably do the same thing, either Saturday, Sunday, Monday, get those wrapped, put them under the tree.
Oh, shout out to my wife who just walked in. Shout out Jan Esber.
Shout out Jan Esber.
Hi, Jana.
Right, ironically, she's wrapping gifts right now.
There we go.
That's what we were talking about.
What did you get, Bill?
What'd you get me? Coal.
Coal.
It's good, though. It's economical. I can heat the house with it.
That is smart.
It's a good gift.
No such thing as a bad gift.
No. It's a good gift.
Only bad kids.
True. Yeah, so we're getting ready. I haven't wrapped one thing either, much like you guys. I'm trying to get Jan out of the house this weekend for an hour or two. I'm not the best rapper. In fact, I'm probably the world's worst rapper. None of my corners meet. I just kind of cut paper to fit the thing, and then I roll it into a ball, put a little tape on the end of it. And
right, exactly. It's perfect. Whatever's extra, you just kind of crunch up and tie a bunch of stuff around it.
Yeah, just put a little tape on the end, and it's wrapped up, and it's good to go.
You know they make gift bags, don't you?
Yeah, but you can't put every gift in a gift bag.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Most of mine are.
Gift bags?
Most of mine are gift bags.
Yeah.
Usually for Ann. Most of the ones for Ann, I just usually throw in a gift bag, throw some paper on top of it. I'm like, that's easy, that's done.
Yep.
I'll wrap a couple, though, because then it's at least it's something to open. It's a little surprise.
Yes.
Make them work for it.
Yes. What are your big wishes? Do you guys have anything that you want, you've specifically asked for?
Like us personally or our kids?
Yeah, no, like you personally.
Me personally, no.
Yeah.
For anything. I'm happy with whatever I get. I don't have any. I have everything I could want.
Yeah. Matt?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same thing. Like if I want something, I get it. So whatever happens to be there for me, I'm usually happy. I think my wife and kids kind of know what I like. Yeah,
that's the thing. Exactly what you said. It's if I want something, I'm gonna go get it. I'm like a grown man. I can go.
Right.
I have a job. I'm like, if I want this, I'm gonna go get that. Now, if there was a big thing like the Blackstone Grill, things like that, but that's usually more like on a Father's Day or birthday. I feel like Christmas, and I usually sit down what can we use or what do we want? So we got we don't drink coffee. We're not coffee drinkers, but our family does when they come over, and we literally have the old school coffee pot. We've had coffee maker where you flip the switch, it sets the timer, whatever. You have to fill it up before you go to bed, all that stuff. I do it wrong every time. I don't know. I put instant coffee in it one time. I don't know how to do it. So I was like, let's get a single serve Keurig. that like we can use for hot chocolate if we want, or tea. We'll never use it for coffee, but at least it's there on the counter for when people come over. We'll have pods and they could just make their own coffee real easy. So it's like that is the thing. It's like we could use that. There was one on sale at Kohl's, so it's like that's once again we could have bought it, but it's like we're gonna wrap it and say it's a Christmas present.
Yeah, good. That's a good idea. That's what we usually do. Like if there's anything big, we'll get it as a family. Like Jan and I will gift it to each other. But I'll get the obligatory couple pair of underwear, some socks, some the usuals.
Yeah, I did say I needed some new like Nike socks, like just like low cut Nike socks. I'm like I can use some of those, I guess. Like they're like asking for ideas. I'm like, yeah, tell the kids like here, give me some Nike socks or get me. Like, I was like, I don't have any Steelers boxers. Give me a pair of Steelers boxers. Like just like random things that once again I could go get, I just don't. So it's like random things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll usually think of something like the day or two, like after Christmas, and be like, oh, like I really need this. And Megan will always say, well, information would have been good like a week ago.
Yeah, it is true. So just to keep with the theme a little bit, with the theme of Christmas and the theme of the Port Podcast.
Yes.
Matt, you were 82?
82, yes.
82. I don't want to delve deep into your career because if we continue this next year, I'd rather talk about it then. But I want to give you your accolades for that you did play. You were part of the Tiger football team. You are our executive producer. And welcome again to the show. And
yeah, I'm happy to get some FaceTime, on the show since, doing work behind the scenes with suggestions and, potential topics, stuff like that. So, but yeah, I was part of the team. My career was not very stellar, but like you said, we can save my career summary in high school football for season 2.
Sure.
That's a great plan.
Yes.
But as you mentioned, career not being stellar. I think the one thing we learned this year, though, from a lot of our guests was the importance of all those people that just were part of the team. I think that's like the cool thing, and the theme that we had going on this year was the scout team people. It wasn't all stars. We had some big players on our team that were amazing, but by no means, I didn't catch a pass all year. So, it's not like I led the league in receptions or scored a bunch of touchdowns, but I did have a pretty good crack block at the Whitfield Championship game, the free out running back.
That's kind of funny and ironic at the same time because and as you guys both know, I did not play on the state championship team. I, decided that I was going to play basketball and focus my efforts on basketball. And then
that worked out for you.
Yeah, that worked out really well. Played one season of basketball and then came back out to football because I missed being with my friends. I think, a lot of the guys that, have been on the show have talked about, the camaraderie, the relationships that, they forged, in high school, at practice, at camp, and, some of those, relationships lasted a lifetime, as with, us, we met, when we were very young playing youth sports and, here we are 30, plus years later, as great friends. But the one thing about that crack block, like I remember the one time you guys had already graduated and I think it was my senior year, we were at a scrimmage and I actually got a semi-decent block on a guy. And that was like the best thing, that I could have done. I came home so excited. I think I, called Bill and, left him like numerous messages like, hey, like I just had the greatest block in the world. Yeah, it was a scrimmage. Yeah, it didn't count for anything, but it was a block. So.
That was a big deal for our wideouts.
It absolutely was.
Yeah, it's fun. So have you guys did you watch that receiver show on Netflix yet? Did anybody watch that?
No. I watched the quarterback one. I didn't watch the receiver one.
I watched the quarterback one and then just started recently like working out again. So in the mornings I'm like looking for something to watch while I'm on the elliptical. So I put that on. It's pretty good, but it's pretty impressive seeing some of those guys block too. They're so it's like Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then I got Debo and Kittle on there. But just seeing some of like the blocks that Amon St. Brown puts on, like some of their idols were, Hines Ward and those kind of guys.
Yeah,
we talk about.
That's cool.
Like they're not just like amazing. Oh, Justin Jefferson's on it too. So it's like they're not just amazing receivers. They're out there like so happy when they block somebody like through the end zone and things like that. So it's pretty cool to see.
Worth watching then.
I don't think it was done as well as the quarterback. The quarterback was a pretty amazing. Like, I feel like getting into the mind of a quarterback is a little bit different. Like, the
Yeah,
receiver,
absolutely.
the first episode of the receiver, it's like, they tell us like we have one job, catch the ball, but it's like we really don't. Like, how many times are we getting the ball thrown to us? So there's a lot, but I just felt even like some of the behind the scenes stuff of the quarterback, I just felt like it was done better. I feel like this was like an afterthought. Like, hey, we should do the receivers too. Like, like, hey, we'll do like linemen next year. It wasn't as good. It was still cool to see, but I don't feel like it was as done as well. Like, the games were faster. Like, it didn't show as much game action. There didn't seem to be as important things, like so much drama. But I mean, it's worth a watch if you're like, all right, I want to be into sports. If I want to watch something for football, like if you're not watching the Steelers, hopefully playing into the playoffs.
Right.
Speaking of transition, Steelers guaranteed a spot in the playoffs.
Are they? I missed it. Are they?
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Wow.
Yeah. Because of some of the losses last weekend, they're guaranteed at least into the playoffs right now. So.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I missed all of last weekend's pretty much.
Now, if they win this Saturday, that should lock up the division then?
Correct. So, so if they beat the Ravens, so technically this is going to air after that.
Yeah.
But, yes, if they beat the Ravens, we end up going, I think, 11-4, and they will be like 9-5. I don't know, 9 and something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Basically, they can catch us, but we'll have the tiebreaker because we beat them twice. So if we beat the Ravens, we win the division, and then they can kind of take it easy. There's some
hopefully
weird.
PJ Watt can play.
He practiced today. He had limited practice today. Yeah, so he practiced limited. Pickens did not. I just heard it on the radio today when I was driving home. Was listening to like the fan, and they were giving all the updates. But I don't know. Like, I hope TJ can play, but I feel like Pickens is the more impact right now. Like, our receivers looked awful without him. Like without him playing the past 2 games, like I feel like it was like we don't have anybody out there. Like,
because they don't. I mean, he's always one catch away from making a huge difference, having a as Mike Tomlin would say, splash play.
Right.
So if he's not on the field, then the defense isn't focused on him. They're focused on the other receivers who, the fact is, their talent is a little bit less than George Pickens.
Yeah.
So, what do you do? I think like on the Watt side of things, because he's had some injuries, over the last couple of years where he's missed some, some games here and there. So if he isn't able to go, there's going to be a linebacker that's going to step in that's going to do a pretty decent job, I'm sure. But I think when you don't have that receiver out there, the defense knows, hey, your number one receiver is not here, and your other guys aren't even close to that. So we're, we can take a little easy a little bit.
Cool.
Sorry, my dog just jumped in. Very unprofessional.
What's that? The dog?
Sorry, my dog just came down. Very unprofessional.
Mm.
Man, we're slacking. We're
out of shape.
That's it.
Yeah, I've heard guests have gotten muted or thrown off the podcast for situations like that.
Yeah,
true.
100%.
True.
I'll throw myself
off. Should we delve into the Christmas edition then of the show?
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
All right. So we want to kick it off with, what do we say? Top 10, top 5, top 10.
A discussion of top 10 Christmas
movies.
So Bush got our IMDb, which is the International Movie Database, top 100. So we're going to start top 10 and cover those. So we're going to just talk a little bit about them, see if we agree, disagree, if it needs to be a top 10, and then we could always hop on the major list and see if there's other ones that showed up somewhere else that we feel needs to be on there. But let me share my screen. We'll pull this up. Speaking of, do you guys go on IMDb frequently?
I am a big Wikipedia guy. So like a lot of times when I'm watching a movie or a show, like I'll see an actor or an actress. I'm like, wait a minute, like that person was in this or that. I'll just Google their name and go straight to Wikipedia. I think that's just my preference.
I'll get on it for certain things when I'm trying to figure out who's in a movie, or to watch something that's similar to that type of movie. I'll go through that, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, we usually we'll hop on if we're watching a show and we're like, where's that person from? Like who is it? So then we're look at that movie, see them, then we go to their move on discography or whatever, try to find out or filmography and see who what else they were in. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing. Only reason I asked, I always thought IMDb was all capitalized, and then when Bush sent us that list, that's the first time I realized the B is lowercase in IMDb.
Yeah,
fun fact.
I did not realize that.
Not that interesting, but anyways, I digress.
Please.
All right, top 10 Christmas movies. ranked by IMD lowercase b.
Are we going to number 10?
Well, of course, you got to stop 10 and work your way up.
We're at 10. All right.
This
We're
is
starting
this
at
is
the
a
back
surprise.
end of the list.
We are not.
10.
Yeah.
Gremlins.
Well,
What do you think about that?
Not a fan. I must kick it right off right there. I'm not a fan of Gremlins.
I mean,
Didn't love it when I came out.
yeah.
Don't love it now.
I wouldn't put it in a top 10. That doesn't.
Yeah.
That didn't strike me. I mean, it is obviously. I guess. I mean, we're gonna have some leeway on what counts as a Christmas movie coming up, but it does take place at Christmas. But I definitely would not put it in like a top 10. I don't think.
No.
Christmas movie.
No, I probably wouldn't. Like I watched it the other day. I'll admit, it's one of a handful of movies that I try to watch like every Christmas season. I do enjoy it, but it's definitely not top 10. I wouldn't even put it in the top 25. But I digress. It is good.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Gremlins. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I haven't watched it recently to see if it holds up. You obviously did, so you still think it holds up. Like some of those old movies, you go back and watch, you're like, oh, how did I ever like that?
Well, I guess I'm very retro, so I like the older movies. You know, there's just the nostalgia value to me from like, hey, I saw this when I was a kid.
Right.
So I did enjoy watching it again. But when you compare it to some other movies, like within the last, 15 years, it doesn't hold up that well to those movies.
True.
But still a decent movie.
Yeah. All right,
I'm out on Gremlins. I'm all out.
There's
don't like it. Didn't even like it then. Don't like it now. It's not a Christmas movie. I'm out.
Number 9, Elf.
I honestly feel this is a top 10.
I probably would push a top 5 for me personally, but
that's where I'm at. Top five for me too.
Yeah, I would think we'll have to see what the other ones that are up there, but Elf not making top 5. I would say especially recent movies. Like, I mean, we could watch it anytime. If it's on, we'll watch it. Like it's on TV, doesn't matter what part it's on. And sometimes wants to watch it like in the fall, spring, summer. Like, hey, let's watch Elf. It's one of those ones we'll watch anytime because he's just so hilarious.
It's very quotable.
So quotable.
Absolutely.
A lot of things. I mean, Santa, I know him.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's I think that's a huge quote. I think I've probably heard you say that 1,000 times.
Yeah. I mean, I think, it has a happy ending. It's wholesome. There's some adult humor. There's some kid humor.
Yeah.
I'm on board for Elf top 5 for me.
Yeah, that's a 21-year-old movie. I'm looking at the list. Some of the other stuff on there. 2003 is when it came out. So
Elf came out in 2003.
Yeah, it definitely stood the test of time for sure.
What was my marriage? That's pretty crazy.
I would have said I thought like the teens, like 2013, 14, 15.
That was like post my kids being born. My youngest was 2009. I definitely thought it was after that.
Well, I think sometimes too, like the Polar Express. The Polar Express, like I always thought that came out when my oldest daughter was born because the first time I watched it was when she was like a week old.
Yeah.
But it actually, came out like around, a couple years before that. So like early 2000s.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes it's just you don't pay attention to some of these things until you have kids.
True.
And then you just watch it over and over and then you like it yourself.
Right. Yeah. I couldn't tell you, like, I remembered when Elf was in the theaters, like you said, like it being released as a movie. I just remember like watching on TV or watching the DVDs and things like that. So
right.
Yeah, that makes sense. I gotta say funniest, well, not the funniest part. There's just so many funniest parts, but the part like I will like laugh out loud every time is when he gets hit by the cab and he's just trying to like walk to go see his dad. He's crossing the street and out of nowhere a cab comes and just blasts him and he like flies up onto the windshield. Like I laugh out loud every time he gets hit by that cab. It's probably not the best thing to laugh at, but
excellent part.
Yeah. So let's see what number 8 is. So here's where I struggle with some of these old movies. I don't know. To me, there's so many better movies that I don't think I would put any of these old movies in my top 10. Like anything that's black and white, I don't think makes it in my top 10.
I'm a Miracle guy. Miracle on 34th. Yeah, that's a top 5 for me.
That's a top 5?
That's a top 5 for me.
Wow.
It's wholesome. It's heartwarming. It gets you in the Christmas spirit. Makes you believe.
You watch it every Christmas?
Usually. Yep.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna see if you were just like if you weren't a real believer of it.
No,
It's
usually
definitely a good
Yeah.
movie. I haven't seen it for I can't remember the last time I've seen it. So I might have to throw it on, if I have some time in the next few days.
I mean, Christmas spirit, wholesome, yes. Does it hold up? No. I mean, people are burning heaters, talking to their kids, and
Yeah.
it's just different times. I mean, you know, it, it's just a different era, but
Right.
it's wholesome, and you know, it's a feel good story.
Gotta be honest, I don't know if I've ever watched the whole Miracle on 34th Street.
I mean,
Give me the
I don't want
premise.
to give it away.
Give me the back.
But,
Give me the premise of it. Give me the premise of it.
Oh,
I'm assuming there's a miracle that happens.
There's a miracle. Basically, a little girl doesn't have a dad.
Okay.
Lives with her mom. Wants to live in a great big house with a family, and she meets the real Santa Claus, and he makes it
wow.
happen.
Wow.
So,
That's awesome. That does sound good. I might have to watch it now. You might have sold me on it. I might have to watch it.
I mean, it's not very long either. I think it's only like an hour and 10 minutes or something. It's
hour and 36.
okay.
Oh,
There you go.
way too long. Sorry, can't watch
Way
that.
too long. I'm out.
Attention span's not long enough.
It's a feel good watch. Once you've seen it, it's one of those kind of like you could put it on while you're decorating the tree.
Yeah.
And it's just a Christmassy movie. You're
right
in the spirit. You don't have to pay attention to every second of it. But
yeah, once you see it once, you know what's going to happen. So you can just
exactly
have it on in the background and say, I watched it and it's on. I get it.
Yep.
All right, I might give it a shot this Christmas.
All right, you should.
You might have won me over. We'll see. So number 7, A Christmas Story. I'm a fan. I'd put it top 10.
Yeah, definitely agree. Top 10.
Yeah. I kind of like where it's at right now.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good spot. Like getting close to the top 5, but not there. Like high enough to be in there. I wouldn't have put it above Elf, but
nope, I wouldn't have either.
But definitely, yeah. I mean, it's a good. I mean, movie's a good movie when TNT runs at 24 hours, right? Like, I mean, like,
right.
Like when they don't put anything else on but that. That's pretty impressive.
I mean, I've watched it for multiple hours.
Yeah.
In Christmases.
Yeah, you come in at any point, just let it go, right? And just like catch up, watch it.
Got to respect the mom and dad. Drink pounding wine Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Opening presents. Just getting through it. Just getting through the holiday spirit.
Fragile.
Must be Italian.
Do any of you guys have a leg lamp?
I do not.
I do not.
I do not either.
But I believe one of our loyal listeners who gets some mentions on the show, Jason Urosic, I'm pretty sure he either has a leg lamp or he had one at one time.
I do have a Red Ryder BB gun.
Do you really?
I do.
Is it an actual Red Ryder BB gun?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Legit one.
Yeah.
You could buy those. Like, have you guys gone to the house in Cleveland? Like the actual house?
No, haven't done that.
We did that. I think it was around this time last year. We went down, caught like a Cleveland Cavs game with the family, went and just did like a one-night trip there. And Ann wanted to see the house, so we went over. We didn't pay and do the tour, but there's like a souvenir shop, so we got some pictures outside, and then just went in the souvenir shop. But I think you can buy a Red Ryder BB gun there.
Yeah,
nice.
That's cool.
Learned a valuable life lesson. Didn't know the stick your tongue in the pole thing until after I saw that movie. Didn't know
that's true.
Not that I probably would have licked a pole either, but
right. But I mean, if somebody double dog dares you, probably would.
I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? Yeah.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
Right.
Did you ever go try it after seeing it?
No. Matt
Bush, did you? Did it happen? Did you
I'll admit, down at the Bryn Mawr playground in the neighborhood that I grew up in, I think he probably waiting for the bus one day. Tried it real quick. It did get a little sticky on the pole, but I didn't leave it on there long enough. Because I think it's like when it's cold, like you take like an ice cube and stick it on your to your tongue real quick or whatever. It's like that quick sensation.
Right.
And there's like a little bit of panic sitting, like, oh my God, this is going to happen. I'm going to be flick.
Yeah.
Fair. Thanks for attempting that for all of us.
Yes, thank you for trying that. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yes.
All right, before we get to the top 5, let's do a broke 6. Christmas Vacation, number 6. Did not make the top 5.
Yeah, this is definitely a top 10, probably top 5.
Yeah, I would probably put it in my top 5. I think I would definitely have moved National Lampoons and Elf both to top 5, I think, for me. Once again, I see what's in the top 5, but right now, those two would have been.
National Lampoons is going to be a top 3 for me.
Top 3.
I would agree. It's probably it's probably right up there. Like once again, very quotable. I mean, probably I would definitely say. I mean, I don't know. I think it's the best National Lampoon's Vacation movie. What do you guys?
It is.
You guys feeling that?
I agree. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hands down, it's the best. Like you said, Bill. There's a ton of quotes in there. The one I was going to throw out there real quick, but then I remembered that we are a family show. So I think both.
Serious, Clark?
That's one I probably heard that tens of thousands of times from you. But it's the other one. Fun fact: I just picked up a piece of Christmas Vacation memorabilia. I bought a Clark Griswold Chicago Blackhawks jersey.
Oh, nice. Hopefully, it's one of those like illegal sites you only paid $30 for it.
No, I got it off of eBay. But I will admit I did check out borntrade.net.com.edu whatever to see if they had it, and it was a newer jersey, so it wasn't like the older version,
like the classic. Yeah, you have to have the classic.
So I went classic. So it was a solid pickup.
That's a great.
I mean, you can wear that to like ugly sweater parties. Like
I wore that to
it's a hockey sweater
Christmas party on Friday, and what was funny is my friend's son, he like questioned my loyalty to the Penguins, and was like upset with me for a little bit, and then I explained the situation, and then he watched the movie the next day, and now we're friends again.
He's in.
Yeah, that's by far one of my top 3 favorite Christmas movies.
Did you guys like Vegas Vacation by any chance?
No.
That wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
I wasn't a fan. Anne always has liked it. I don't know. I think she likes the kid that was in it, the one that plays Russ in that one.
Yeah.
I can't remember who that kid is, but he's been in a few things.
That's the best gag in that one is the Nick Papagiorgio.
Yeah, yes. Right. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. But
no corrective lens this evening.
Yeah.
No, I do not require them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the worst vacation.
I would agree. I always liked the European Vacation growing up because I feel like that was like as a kid, that was the first glimpse that like you saw like a lot of boobs in that movie.
Yes.
So it was like,
yeah.
Like it was like I don't know, like just being in Europe, it was like I don't know. I was like, this is my first glimpse into like, wow, this is like you can watch this on TV. This is amazing. It was like always on HBO or something back in the day. So
right.
That's probably my favorite back then. So that's probably why it's my second favorite now. Still.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I'd probably go Christmas Vacation then regular Vacation.
Yeah. The one where they remade Vacation with Ed Helms wasn't terrible. There was like some funny parts to it, but it definitely wasn't. It wasn't the same. Like it wasn't great. Nah. But it was just there was like some funny like awkward family moment kind of things that were funny in it, but not the same.
Yep, I agree there.
Can't redo the classics. All right, speaking of classics, go to the top 5.
All right, a little disappointed in that being 6.
Yeah, right. So what's 5? Oh, they went an old school one. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Now, is this claymation Rudolph?
This is this is claymation, 1964.
Like original movie.
Yeah.
I mean, for its time, it was pretty creative.
It was.
Yeah. So I wouldn't put this in the top 5.
No.
Hard to say if I put this in my top 10. Now, I'll go out on a limb. It's not that much of a limb, but I will say this is the greatest claymation movie ever made.
Well, I think that's a pretty big limb, though.
It is.
I mean, like Nightmare Before Christmas.
You know what? I've only seen bits and pieces of that movie.
Like anything Tim Burton does, though, now, like I feel like he's leaps and bounds ahead of what they did back then with this stuff. I mean, his is like no CGI. It's all moving those little pieces and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool for that time frame. Definitely not a top 5, like you said. I don't even know if it'd be top 10. It might peak at 10 for me, but definitely not a top 5.
Yeah,
I'd
say
the story of Rudolph. I just don't like the placement. I don't know.
Yeah, the placement's not good. I mean, it for me it hovers around 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 11, I'm not saying it's not a good movie. Yeah. I mean, it's a classic. You got Yukon Cornelius.
That's what I was.
Snowman. I mean, you got there's a lot of good things. You got Hermie that wants to be a dentist. You got the Misfit Toys. Like, there's so many pop cultural kind of things that come out of that. It just quality, like movie that I would want to sit. Like if I'm looking for the top 5, if I have to sit on Christmas with the family and watch 5 movies, that would not be in one of my 5 that I would probably watch. That I would pick to watch. So,
but ironically, I do seek it out.
Yeah,
like
I won't even
watch the whole. Like I'll like ask like my mom. This is like I used to watch it when I was a kid. Like you said with the nostalgia. I'll ask her like, hey, when's Rudolph going to be on? And she'll tell me. And I'll usually I'll watch it for like 15, 20 minutes. I won't get through the whole thing, but it's almost like I have to just see a little bit of it.
Right.
Try to capture that nostalgia and then move on.
Yeah, it brings back like that. Oh, it's at 8:00 on ABC. That kind of feeling like, we're like, because right now, like there's nothing on TV anymore. Everything's streaming or everything, it's not like you're not sitting there waiting for something to come on TV anymore. So you get that feeling. It's pretty cool.
They actually did have it on this year. It was on NBC.
Yeah.
So I think it ran a couple weeks ago, and then they did a rerun just last week. Because I was, like you said, Bill, like I always like to watch it like every year, and I was looking for it. And with all the streaming services are out there, like it's out there, but you had to either rent it or buy it. I'm like, no. And then I saw that it was going to be on NBC, so I just hit record, and I watched it. I think over the weekend, like I had it playing in the background.
Right.
So
yep.
It's like Bill said, there's something about like when it's airing though, like it's like, hey, I'm going to make it a point to like stop what I'm doing. I'm going to go put this channel on and like turn it on and watch it, or like whatever streaming service. Like, so there's a little bit of nostalgia of the, like as we feel old and say the good old days when you had to like watch a show when it aired, like, or else you weren't watching kind of thing. Yeah. So it like brings back that feeling. I get
it's like officially Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
But not a top 5.
No, not top 5.
I mean, like a Christmas Carol, like there's so many of the Christmas carols. Like I feel like this the one on the picture on there was like the original.
Yeah, it was
Christmas Carol, like a long time ago. It's a good story. I mean, like
great story. But again, like everybody knows the story at this point because you got the Muppets version, you got Bill Murray's movie, which I think Bill Murray's movie is great. It's not a top 10, but it's a great movie.
Scrooged, yeah.
Scrooge, yeah. Yeah, I'd lean towards Scrooge over Christmas Carol. I wouldn't put either one in my top 5, but if I were going to pick a Christmas Carol based movie, I would go Scrooge.
Yeah. So what's your favorite Christmas Carol based? Like they had the Jim Carrey one, like as you said, they have the Muppets one. So Scrooge? Would you say that's your ghost? If somebody's like, hey, I got to watch about as Ebenezer Scrooge, what are you going to watch?
Scrooge.
Yeah.
Have you? See, I'm going to throw you guys a curveball here. Have you guys watched Spirited on Apple TV yet?
Spirited?
Yep.
No. What's that about?
Write it down.
Okay.
Best movie that came out last year. We watched it 20 times. So it's a take on the Scrooge story, but it has Ryan Reynolds in it, and it has Will Ferrell in it, and it's really good.
You're gonna have to let us get that Apple ID then, so we can watch.
Well, I'll put it at the end of the show here. I'll share it with everybody. So you guys don't have Apple TV? Come on.
No,
I know. Bill doesn't because he doesn't have an iPhone. But
that's right.
No,
I think our Apple TV comes free with something. It's free with one of our services. I can't remember. It might be with our T-Mobile or something. But
that's probably the one like streaming service that I don't have. I have like because I'm still paying. I still have Comcast. So I get whatever comes with Comcast. So I think I might get Max.
Like Peacock, probably free.
I have Peacock. I got Max.
Yeah.
I did subscribe to Paramount Plus.
Yep.
So I actually pay for that outside of
Comcast. We got Disney, Netflix, Paramount, but not Apple.
Yeah,
it's worth it if you like go on Apple and have like the 1 week or 2 weeks free.
Yeah,
do it for 2 weeks free and go watch Spirited just to watch Spirited. Like it's like there's good songs in it, so it's like there's musical to it. Like it's I mean, because Will Ferrell and he has a good rapport with anybody, but like how good Ryan Reynolds is too and things. Right. So those two together, and it's a take on like a Christmas Carol. It's a take on Scrooge. So basically, Will Ferrell plays like the spirited part, where they come back and they try to change people, and then Ryan Reynolds is like the Scrooge-ish type person that they're trying to change. So it's definitely worth watching because their chemistry is pretty on point. It's pretty funny.
All right. And we'll check it out.
Cool.
I would put it probably one of my top 5 right now. That's how much I like it. Yeah, and it's
Wow.
new. Like that's the nice thing. Like it's a new movie that just came out last year, so I feel like that's probably part of it. Is that it has that
Right.
new feel to it. Like it's pretty good.
Okay.
So they'll throw that curveball at you. That probably is a top fiver for me. But
All right, it's on the list.
Interesting.
we'll see. We'll see what's here. All right, Home Alone, number 3, top 3.
Kevin.
Would you guys put that at top 3?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Not 3, not top 3. Top 5, 6, 7. That's where it's at for me.
Yeah, mine's probably in the 6-ish, 7 range. I don't think it would have cracked my top 5. I don't think. I like it. Anne loves it. Like, so we have like all 3 of them. I think there was 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I like tolerate it. I liked it back in the day, but I think it's just lost it. So I'm like, okay. It's it's not one I want to watch every year, but it's on because she likes it. So
Did you ever watch the it's rare. It's like remember how like they used to have pop-up video where they would put like facts in it?
yeah.
They had a pop-up Home Alone one on a couple years ago.
Oh wow.
And it was like it was cool to like some of the stuff they were saying like as they get hurt, as the 2 burglars get hurt, like they're like, oh, this would have been like lacerated spleen and busted jaw, like probably not walking away from this one, or like whatever. They were just kind of like throwing out what the injuries would be every time they got hurt. And
that's a touching a doorknob like that would be like a 1st degree burn.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, they're like probably need a skin transfusion after this.
Right.
And, so that, I thought, not that that's an official Home Alone, but that was like an interesting take on it that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, good quality movie, just not my top
wholesome
3.
Yeah,
was where it's.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
I like it.
We watched it.
Top 3. Like I said, it's not something I want to watch all the time. Like it's not my go-to.
No. Ironically, when we were just in Disney, Macaulay Culkin put his hands in the cement outside of one of the places at Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
Like right at the time that Home Alone was, it actually says like Home Alone, whatever year it came out in, like 01 maybe.
I'll look it up.
Okay. And so my kid, we're standing in line for a ride. He puts his hands in like Macaulay Culkin's hands, and they're like the same size. So I look at like my kid being Home Alone, like at this age, I'm like, there's no way.
Right.
Yeah.
1990.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just kind of mind blowing to think about.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes. But all right, I digress.
Ooh, number 2. It's very hard coming in number 2. Wow.
I'm with you. All I can say is yippee-ki-yay to this one.
Yep.
I don't know number 2, but I mean it's definitely a top 5. I would say
Top 5.
Top
5, sure.
Yeah. I mean it's just because of the nature of the argument of, is it a Christmas movie? And I think none of my family ever wants to watch it, but I want to watch it every year.
Yeah.
I got the kids into it one year. I mean, it was probably like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm like, this is a Christmas movie. We're watching it.
Yes. Listen,
I made them all watch it.
It's not Christmas in this house till Hans Gruber falls off the Nakatomi Tower.
No, I mean that's a fact. That is a fact.
Yeah.
I have my own little tradition, like with my favorite movies. Like I try to watch them, religiously, like every Christmas. Well, my family doesn't like them either, so I watched Die Hard 2, and then there's 2 other movies that I really like. The Night They Saved Christmas, which was like a made-for-TV movie with Jacqueline Smith that no one other than like a handful of people have ever heard of.
Yeah.
And then there's another movie. It's called Santa Claus, the movie, with John Lithgow and Dudley Moore.
Dudley Moore, yes, I remember that. Yeah.
That is actually one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah.
But I watch them, because again, it's like it brings that nostalgia back. I like it. But Die Hard, that's like a thing all the time. Is it or isn't it a Christmas movie? Right. We had our work Christmas lunch this afternoon, and my boss said to everybody, is it or isn't it a Christmas movie? And I think 70% of the table said Christmas movie.
Yeah, I feel like the tide is changing to people accepting it as a Christmas movie. I mean, if you would have said this years ago, I feel like the majority of people are like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. But I feel like it's picked up such traction as a hot topic that it's winning some people over. I think some
Yeah.
people are like, all right, I can see it. He wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for Christmas. Like, I mean, there's
Right.
a lot of like this. No, this doesn't happen. He wouldn't be there. The whole story doesn't happen if it's not
Right.
for it
Like
being a Christmas
exactly.
party and him coming in for Christmas. Like,
right. It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Attended a Christmas party.
Yeah.
What else do you need?
Be there with his family.
Here's a question for you guys. Do you guys like Die Hard 2?
yeah, I like it. I mean, not as good as the first one, but I liked it.
Right. Definitely not. Nothing's ever as good as the first. But it's just like sometimes people get turned off with sequels where they're like, "Oh no, it's terrible." The story, they watered it down. They did this, they did that.
I think Die Hard 2 is good.
I thought it was 2. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I liked was it 3 with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
I like that one too. Yeah, I thought that was great. I like that team up with him. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was years though after the fact, I think.
Yeah, it didn't come out like almost a year. Like, I feel like Die Hard 2 maybe came out 2 years after. Like, it was pretty close, and they like, all right, let's strike. Like, after that one though, like, wasn't there like Die Harder or Die Hard with a Vengeance?
Yeah, there was
Die Hard, or I mean, they got like real loose.
it got watered down after that.
Yeah.
So Bruce Willis, he had a good run where he was that like
Everyday
like
hero.
Cop with a drinking problem that smoked cigarettes that nobody liked and just put out a good movie. I mean, one of his good movies, great movies, is Striking Distance.
Heck yeah.
And that's not a Pittsburgh bias either. Like that's a legit good movie. The one thing that I don't like about that movie is at one point when him and his dad at the beginning of the movie are chasing down, the Strangler or whatever the guy's name was. Take Bigelow. And then next thing, where's he at, Bill?
Like Mount Washington.
Duquesne.
Oh yeah, that's it. Okay,
The Center Street in Duquesne.
Hills, right?
Yeah.
None of it connects, right? Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
How about The Last Boy Scout too?
Oh, who was that? That was with Damon Wayans.
Yeah,
that was great.
Drinking
really
problem
good.
smoker. Same character.
Head or gut.
Head or gut. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing a detective that's a drunk, like either divorced or on the verge of getting divorced, smokes cigarettes.
Yeah, not a good role model, but
No.
great anti-hero. Like he was like the first original anti-hero, where he's like just not a good person, but you root for him and you're happy he saves the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Die Hard, definitely a Christmas movie. Die Hard, yeah, probably. I agree that top 5. I don't know if I'd put it 2, but I agree like a top 5.
Probably top. That might be my top.
Yeah.
That might be your number 1.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Really.
I feel like I got to go with a real. I'd say real Christmas movie, but I feel like I got to go with like a Christmas themed movie for number 1.
One with like Santa Claus in it.
Correct. Yeah. I feel like
I hear you. I have a top 5.
I have a machine gun.
What'd you say, Bush?
Ho ho ho! Now I have a machine gun.
Right. Here's the thing with my top 5. It's just a top 5. Like it's interchangeable depending upon the day or the year or whatever.
Right.
It's always going to be like a top 5 for me. So I wouldn't really say, hey, my personal top 5, Die Hard's always number 1.
Yeah.
Like it could vary.
It's in your top 5. Yeah. These are the 5 best. Random order, best 5. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think these are my best 5 random order.
No.
Die Hard of these, Die Hard's the only one to be of my best 5, I would say right now.
Yeah.
Like the other 3, they wouldn't make my best 5, I would say.
No.
And like you, Matt, we watch Die Hard every Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Well, usually after everybody goes to bed, and I'm waiting for Santa. Die Hard's on, and we'll drink and getting everything ready.
Yeah, a lot of people have their traditions. Like I know it's my boss. He wraps Christmas presents while he watches it. So mine is tomorrow afternoon at 12:00 starts my Christmas vacation. So I will probably start watching my movies. I'll probably go. I'm thinking I'll probably go Die Hard 1 and 2 first, and then Friday will be my next string of movies.
Yeah, I'm thinking, as I said, I haven't wrapped some presents yet. So I'm thinking that sounds like a good plan this weekend, that at some point I'm just going to come down here in the basement on the big TV, put Die Hard on, and wrap my presents down here while I could be alone.
Yeah.
Before we go to 1, have you guys seen Violent Night?
I have not seen that one.
Is that one with the guy from Stranger Things?
Yeah, Hopper.
Hopper. He plays like the Santa Claus. Is that?
I don't know. I don't watch Stranger Things.
He's like, I don't know.
He's that's who it is.
Bigger, gruffer guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Violent or Violent Night. Yeah.
It's not in my top 10. But it's good. It's worth a watch too if you haven't watched it.
I started watching it one night, but I think I drank a little too much and I like fell asleep. Like I was watching things and I was like drinking and was like drinking bourbon. And I was like, I always wanted to watch this. And I put it on, and then like I saw the beginning and saw like what was going. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be cool. And I got to the point where like I don't think I can stay up any longer, and I never went back to it. So I might have to check. I might have to check that out. I did want to see it though.
Yes, it's good.
Yeah.
I have not seen it. I've intended to see it, but since we're on that topic of have you seen this? Did you watch Red One?
Not yet. It just came out on Amazon Prime, though, I think.
Yes, that's why I watched it.
We didn't want to go. I was like, I don't want to go to the theater and see this. We were trying to get the kids at one point, but we're like, we are all going to sit down and watch this Red One together.
Yeah. I watched it. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. There's
not like trip to the theater worthy, but good enough to watch.
No, it's definitely worth watching for free.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it wasn't bad. And then one other one, we just watched it last night. Carry On, Jason Bateman.
So yeah, that just came on Netflix. Is that with Christmas or no?
It does because it takes place on Christmas Eve at an airport.
Yeah, we went. I saw like previews for it before it came out. It's like coming out on December 13th, but then we just didn't get to watching it. But we want to watch that too.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, Christmas movie, and we're in then.
It's put it this way, it's good. I wouldn't say it's pretty good. It's worth watching.
It's worth once again something to watch. Yep. All right, well let's get drum roll here. Let's see.
Drum roll.
Joy to the world.
It's A Wonderful Life, number 1.
And it is, but it's not.
What do you think?
I think it's one of those where this movie came out. Hold on, sorry. Before any of us were born. So this came out in 1946.
30 years before I was born.
Yeah. So it's a classic movie. Is it a number 1 in today's day and age? No.
Like, I don't know. Like, whose list would put, I mean, obviously IMDb, but I'm saying like of people that you would talk to.
It like when I was doing the research, like to find a list for us to talk about, like, and I'm surprised this one's not in here. White Christmas. Okay. Again, like these older movies, Wonderful Life, White Christmas, A Christmas Carol, they're up there like in top 5s, top 10s.
Right.
Because like,
people watch
it's an all-time great, but it's not in today's movies.
Yeah.
And I think you got to have like an attack, like the Miracle on 34th. Like my parents always watched that and they loved it. So that's kind of what the nostalgia.
That's your attachment.
Right. That's my attachment to it. That's why it's in my top 5. Like they never watched I've seen It's a Wonderful Life, but they didn't watch it every Christmas. I didn't watch it every Christmas. Like Matt said, it's a good movie, but it's outdated. It's not in my top 5.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. So when Miracle on 34th Street came up, I couldn't remember which one, the black and white one that I watched, but It's a Wonderful Life. So that's why I said, give me the premise, give me the background, because I couldn't remember. Yes. I had watched one of those old black and white ones, and that's It's a Wonderful Life, the one with Jimmy Stewart and the angel swings when the bell rings.
Yep.
So that's the one I definitely have seen that one, but I didn't see the other one. But yeah, definitely, I wouldn't put it top 5. Probably doesn't make my top 10. I would watch it. Once again, I feel like that's one that, like you said, Bill, put it on the background just to say it's on. If it's on, it's on, but I'm not sitting down to watch it.
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I did the other day. I put it on in the background and tried to like watch bits and pieces of it. That lasted like all of 30 minutes. Like I was watching it and something else came up and I was like, okay, like I can't get back into it now.
Yeah. So if we look at these, we all agree Die Hard's a top 5 for us on this page. Yeah. Any of these other ones would have been a top 5 for you?
I mean, Home Alone is, but I think, you guys are outvoting me 2-1, so.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you like, I was just going to look back at the other ones that we had. So, I mean, so we would say Die Hard. I think we would all agree Die Hard.
Yeah.
if we go back to this one, I think we all think National Lampoon should be up there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you guys agree on Elf moving up to top
Elf.
5?
That's why I was just writing down my actual top 5.
So we had Elf, National Lampoons, and what was on the other page? Did we say Die Hard?
Die
Those
Hard.
3. Would you put Christmas Story up there, top 5?
Christmas Story's right. Christmas Story's probably at the perfect spot, 7.
Yeah, I agree. It's
I
like 6
agree.
or 7 for me, I'd say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have moved it up
Yep.
to top 5.
Nope.
So with that being said, so if we all agree on those 3, if we agree on Elf, Die Hard, and
Vacation.
Yeah.
Yep.
what are your other
That's
What are
That's
your other
work.
2 then? So like, let's just throw it out there. What would be your other 2 that you'd bump into a top 5 that either we didn't talk about yet, or that were either on this list that you would move up, or if you have 2 other ones that
Well-
maybe are a go-to for you?
Well, let me throw this one out there because I'm kind of surprised that this one is not anywhere near. Actually, it's near, but the original Santa Claus with Tim Allen,
Yeah, the Santa.
they have it ranked at 14, which I think that is, to me, that one floats in and out of top 5.
That's my 5.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, I think that's a great movie. The story behind it is awesome. Like the whole children believing in Santa Claus and the message behind it is really good and really well portrayed.
Yeah, I mean,
Miracles
I think
probably 4, and Santa Claus is 5 for me.
what was 4?
Miracle on
All right, so
34.
you bump
But
that up
again, it's
there.
more.
I would put Santa Claus up there. So I think we
Yeah.
we at least agree on 4 of the top 5s. So
Yep.
Bush, what would you put as your other 5? I'm trying to think of what my other. I'm looking at. I pulled the list. I'm trying to look at other ones.
My personal top 5, I would say, in no order again, is going to be Die Hard, Santa Claus the movie or Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Yeah, the Santa Claus. Yeah.
I'd put Christmas Vacation up there, and then I go with my 2 lone wolves that not a lot of people are
Santa
familiar
Claus the movie. You said, yeah.
Right. So Santa Claus the movie and The Night They Saved Christmas are for me up there, and then Home Alone, Christmas Story, like rated like 6, 7. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Oh, and I like Elf. I'm not a huge Elf fan. I know there's people that are diehard Elf fans.
Right.
Like, and there is a lot of good quotes out of there. That's definitely a top 10 for me. But that's not in my personal top 5.
Yeah. How about did you guys ever see The Family Man?
Yeah, that's, to me, I don't even think that should be on this list.
Really?
I got mad when I looked through this list. I got
We might fight now.
I got aggravated because this is why. So that movie starts on Christmas Eve. Nick Cage goes, he's working on, he goes into the store, and Don Cheadle's in there, and they do their swap, and he wakes up Christmas morning, and he's not him. He's his old self, or what could have been. But then the rest of the movie plays out not on Christmas or Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I think there's too much that's not Christmas. Like it's a movie that encompasses Christmas, but it's not Christmas.
When he comes back to his real life, it's Christmas Day because they're in the boardroom fighting for that. So it's almost like Scrooge. He only missed like that one Christmas Eve night. When he comes back to the real time,
It's
and the
Christmas
guys
Eve
are all
again.
in the boardroom, it's like Christmas. It's whatever day that they're supposed to have that meeting. So he only missed basically that one day in life. So
All right. Well,
I think it's good just because it's a good. I don't know. I think it's a good message about things you miss out on, and things and priorities you put in your life, and things you leave behind, kind of stuff, making choices. So,
all right.
I don't know if I put it top 10, but it's definitely one we watch every year. I'm looking at this the ones we watch every year. We do watch Love Actually. I know we talked about that the other day. We watch that probably every Christmas.
Quality.
I've never seen that
about,
one.
That's probably about 10 places too low for me.
Would you put it? So you'd put it right outside the top 10?
I'd probably put it 12, 13.
Yeah.
Really?
I probably right outside the top 10. It's just there's so many good stories to it. Like it's good how it all ties together. How everybody
You gotta watch it.
Every little side story is related. Yeah, we quote a lot of things in there too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a quotable one for us.
What
Go ahead.
What about Charlie Brown's Christmas? You guys like that one?
It's cute. I don't know when the last time it is I've watched it though.
Yeah,
Like,
same thing.
I think Charlie Brown for me is Halloween. The Great Pumpkin. That's what I think of when I think of Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
look,
True.
Red One made 28 already. Just came out.
That's
this year.
kind of surprising.
That's surprising. It's already on there.
Yeah. How about Polar Express?
There's your Violent Night, Isber. Violent Night's 31.
It's good. I mean, it's
Batman Returns.
I don't know
No,
about
that's just weird.
Yeah.
Nah.
How about? So I watched this movie for the first time a year or two ago, and I might try to watch it the night before.
What was that? So that's on there right there. I don't know what that is. What's the night before?
That's it is. There's like 3 like friends that were friends since childhood.
Oh yes,
and
with is that Anthony Mackie that's in that?
Yeah, Anthony Mackie, Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yes, that is pretty good. That's actually pretty good. We've watched that. That's funny. Yeah. And have you seen that Office Christmas Party?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty fun. Like I wouldn't put it in a top 10, but that's a funny one. That's a good, funny, like adult one to watch, not like with the kids around, but that's a pretty fun. I still didn't get my top 5. I didn't get my 5th one. So here's
what's your rundown again, Just? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I agree with your 4. I think Santa Claus is up there, Elf's up there, Christmas Vacation's up there.
You said you're putting Die Hard up there, right?
I don't know. See, that's where I'm debating. That's where I might get kicked off the podcast. I like it, but if I'm wanting to watch Christmas movies, like I might drop that down to 6 because there's other ones like Spirited would be there, a top 5. It's so good because we will watch that at least 10 times every Christmas right now.
You're keeping it in the top 10. I said it's maybe 6. I said it might have got bumped out of top 5 for me. I gotta go. My family hates me that I love it, but Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas is like my go-to from growing up. It's a Jim Henson one. If you've never seen it, that might be in my top 5. What is it?
Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
I've never heard of that one.
It's a Jim Henson. Like there's no characters in it that you would know. It's not even really greatly done, but
it's Muppets. It's Muppets.
It's the Muppets. Yeah, it's Jim Henson. Right. It's all Muppets. It's all Muppets. It's like the classic tale of I can't remember what it is. Like the person that they sell their thing to get the thing for their mom, and the mom sells their thing to get their thing for the child. Like that thing. Like whatever that Christmas story is. Like Bert and Ernie did it back in Sesame Street a long time ago. Like whoever sold their prized possession to make things work. But
all right,
yeah, there's some like that was there definitely like. D and I, that was our family movie that we loved watching growing up. That was like one we watched with my mom all the time. So I feel like that'd be like my nostalgia one that I would put up there. That the kids bought me that DVD a couple Christmases ago.
No, that's awesome.
What Grinch do you guys like the best? Jim Carrey?
Man, I like the cartoon.
Like the original one or the new cartoon?
The original. I've never seen the new one, so like maybe bits and pieces, but I would go with I'd go with the cartoon or Jim Carrey. Cartoon, I'd put 1A and Jim Carrey 1B.
Unpopular take. I'm not a fan
of the Grinch at all.
Of the Grinch at all.
Oh man, we just had Grinch Day at school today too. Glad I didn't invite you to school today.
Yeah, I'd be the Grinch.
You would definitely be the Grinch.
Yeah, Emmett Otter. That's 1977.
Look at that.
Year you were well, no, year after.
I was 1.
Yes. Man.
See, we're sharing some new movies that we got to watch.
Yeah,
right.
And again, like Lee, you got your Emmett Otter. Not a lot of people have heard of it or seen it, or familiar with it, I should say. Then I got my 2 kind of like oddball ones. I mean, the Night They Saved Christmas. Either one of you ever hear of that one?
I don't think so.
No.
What's it about?
It's
Save Christmas.
Yeah, they live at the North Pole, and the dad works for a company that's like doing like drilling for oil, and like where they're drilling and like blasting is like on North Pole City or whatever they call it. And this elf comes and takes the wife and the kids like on a trip to the North Pole, and they see it all and they like start to believe.
This on the Hallmark Channel?
Familiar?
I don't even know, man.
Is Lacey Chabert in it?
Yeah. She is not. Lacey is not in it. It is from. It's very old. So
the Santa Claus the movie, the other one you talked about,
Yeah.
not the Santa Claus with Tim Allen, but Santa Claus the movie with Dudley Moore.
Yeah.
Isn't there something in there where they come up with like a new flavor of something called puce? Was it puce?
Yes, puce juice. They were going to make.
I
Yes.
remember that. Like it was puce juice, and I've used that before, like as a color, like the color puce. And somebody's like, "What are you talking about?"
It's a. And the one quote is it's like, I forget what he said. It's like magenta, but it's more this color.
Yeah.
And they're like, we could have it called puce juice.
Puce juice, right? Yes.
Yeah.
See, I remember that movie. Yeah, I definitely remember with Dudley Moore. Dudley Moore was like the
And
big
Lithgow's
star.
the bad guy, right?
What's that?
Yeah.
Lithgow's the bad guy.
What's that?
Isn't Lithgow the bad guy?
Yeah,
Doesn't he, like, float
so
off at the end or something.
Yeah, so short version is there's Santa Claus and the elves, and they do their traditional Christmas thing. Dudley Moore is like the head elf. He like creates like a mini factory inside like the North Pole, and it's like mass produces stuff, and then it like they break and they get returns. So Dudley Moore quits and like leaves and goes to, I guess, New York City, and runs into John Lithgow because he's there, and he goes, and John Lithgow is like a shady toy manufacturer and like makes toys and charges a lot of money, and the toys are like bad and flammable and contain,
dangerous, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So they come up and they make they made a lollipop, and they gave it out, and they used the ingredients that they fed the reindeer to fly. So these kids start flying and floating. So then they were going to do a Christmas part 2, I think they were calling it, and that's when they came up with the
puce.
They didn't actually make the puce juice, right. But they made this lollipop. Or the lollipop was the first thing. The second thing I think were candy canes that were like flammable.
Okay.
So
okay,
I don't know.
He like floats off in the end.
Yes,
right?
He does.
Like
he escapes. The police are coming to arrest him, and he just shoves a bunch of candy in his mouth, opens the window, just floats away, and like at the very end, like after Santa Claus and like an abbreviated like reindeer team like save Dudley Moore and this other kid Joe, they show Lithgow floating away in outer space.
Gotcha.
Now I don't have to watch it because you gave the whole thing away, but
I know.
Right. Spoiler alert.
I might want to watch it again though. Now that you talk about it, like I do remember that. That's a good one.
I got the DVD.
It's probably the only way to get it. I'll have to Google and see if there's any services with it.
Yeah, I don't know if that one's out on any services, but that other movie, The Night They Saved Christmas, that one's definitely DVD only.
Yeah.
How about The Night the Reindeer Died? Anyone know that one?
No.
Did you just make that up?
No, it's the beginning of Scrooge.
Oh,
when they're
trying to make they're trying to make that into the movie or whatever.
Yeah, he's like that TV producer,
right, yeah.
And that's like one of the things he's trying to pitch. Is like this action adventure, which is like kind of like Die Hard and Violent Night.
Right.
Yeah. So, should we move on to our fantasy draft?
Yeah, I think so.
Covered all the movies.
Yeah. Since this is a football sports podcast, we thought it would be cool to draft our top team. So we are drafting Christmas family, like if we were creating our own Christmas movie or in real life, looking at dad, mom, child, pet, mythical creature, and the best Santa. So from our movies, we just reviewed a ton of movies. So now we're going to do a little draft. I put a little chart here that I'm going to share so that we can keep track of what everybody's saying. It's not as fancy as my slideshow I did before, though, so I'm going to apologize. Man. I tried to do like a fancy screen, and then that didn't do anything. So we're just getting basically. Can you guys see that?
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to move it to my other tab here so we can see it there. That way I can see you guys and then see the screen. All right.
Is it a mythical creature or a mythological creature?
Either or. You can use your best judgment.
I mean, I typed it mythical, but it could be.
Yeah, I wrote it mythical as well.
Then I think we're going to go with mythical, if that's all right by you.
Yeah.
This is so far over. That's weird. Okay. Well, we can see it, right?
Yeah, as long as we can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, as long as the fans can see it. So I just want to go in order then. So Isber, you want first draft on dads, then like Bush, you'll get moms, I'll get child, then we'll go back to Isber, pet, creature, Santa. Do it that order.
All right.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. All right. So Bill, Christmas dad.
All right, with the first pick in the first annual Christmas family draft, I'm going to go with the one and only, the man who saves Christmas himself for his family, willing to risk it all, Mr. John McClane.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Nope,
Not
not Josh. Nope.
Not Josh
Nope.
McClane.
Nope.
Is it CC?
It is CC.
Yeah.
L-E-I-N.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's quality.
Yeah.
That works big time for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with.
Was he on your list, Bush? Did you have John McClane on your list? Did you make a couple? I like listed 3.
I
like picked
Yeah.
3 for each, just so I figured.
yeah, I did the same thing. So like I sat down and wrote down 3 for each. And John McClane, sadly, he would have been my number 4.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he didn't make my 3 either. So that's a safe,
Wow,
that was a safe
good.
pick for you. He wasn't on my 3
It was a
either.
safe pick. I could have held off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drum roll, please.
Oh. Joy to the
Clark
world.
Griswold.
Clark Griswold, huh? That's
Yep.
a good one.
He was my number 2.
He is on my list there. He was definitely one of mine.
Yeah, he was my number 1. I didn't think he would fall to me at this stage in the
You gotta be
draft.
pretty excited then.
I mean, he's like every dad's dad, right? I mean, he's like,
Yeah.
he tries so hard, like try to make a great Christmas for his family, plan things. I mean, yeah, that was a good one. I agree.
Yep. All right, Lee.
I'm going to go out on a limb on this one. You guys might not know this name. Howard Langston. Anybody know who Howard Langston is?
Langston's like ringing a bell. Go ahead.
Arnold Schwarzenegger played him.
Okay.
Oh, Jingle All the
Jingle
Way.
all the
Yeah,
way.
I mean, man, he went
Okay.
to battle for to get that toy for his kid. I mean, that's
Yeah.
So I don't know if you could see. I don't cover up the rest of my list, but he was my number
he
3.
was on there. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't know his name. I
Nice.
wrote Arnold from Jingle All the Way.
You got to do some research. I didn't know his name either.
Yeah.
To look it up.
Yeah.
It's not like I remembered his name from the movie.
That was also my number 3. I mean, what he went through to get that toy. I mean, you gotta like him right there.
And who was he with? Is it Sinbad?
Sinbad.
Yeah.
Sinbad was the mailman.
Yes. Sinbad.
Yep.
So
Yes.
I had
yeah. Who were your others, Bush? Who else did you have on there? It's possible.
I had the old man from A Christmas Story, the dad.
Okay.
Like, fun fact,
Yeah.
like I had to look at the credits. He's credited as Mr. Parker / old man. He doesn't even have a first name.
yeah.
So
Yeah. They don't ever say
that was
his name in the movie.
that was my number 2 prospect. My number 3 prospect, I went with Walter Hobbs from Elf.
It's a good one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
James Caan.
Yep.
That's a good one.
What'd you guys have?
You're looking at my top 3 right there.
Okay.
Yeah, Griswold. Wow, that's your top 3. Look at that, Isbert. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That was my top 3.
The other one I had on there other than Griswold and Langston was I put Scott Calvin just because I mean that's
Okay.
I mean, he's a father and then becomes Father Christmas. I mean he's like a 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been like a
he may
double
come
pick.
back around.
Would have been a big
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
like so.
Okay.
All right.
So, all right.
So you're up.
yeah.
You're up for moms then, Bush. So we'll.
I'm
hop
up from now. All right. So, drum roll, please.
Are you taking the pair?
I mean, you might as well just.
Ellen Griswold.
Not mixing it up,
Ellen?
huh? You're taking the pair. All right.
So, Ellen Griswold was my number 1.
All
I'm
right.
going to stick with it. I almost went alternate route, but no, I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
You got the couple. You got the pair.
Keep them together. Yeah, that's strong.
All right. I'm taking one of their kids just so you can't have the whole family for my first pick next
Right.
round. Just,
All right.
I'm going to mess with you. I'm not giving you the whole movie. I am going with, so ironically, as you mentioned who one of your dads were, I'm going with Mrs. Parker, the mom from A Christmas Story.
Okay.
Excellent.
Once again,
All right.
she was listed as mom.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just listed as mom, so I don't know Mrs. Parker's first name, but
Correct.
I went with her. I just felt like she reminded me of my mom. Like she just reminded me of like just like drinking at Christmas, like drinking at Christmas. The soap in the mouth, man. I had soap in my mouth as a kid once, so that just brought back memories. I'm like, that's
Nice.
That's my mom to a T, so I had to pick her as my mom.
Nice.
Excellent. And I mean, I guess we'll rounding it off. To keep
McAllister, what's her first name?
Alistair's mom. Don't know.
McAllister.
Isbert,
McAllister.
you are the worst at doing research.
Hey.
You're the worst.
Mom from Home Alone.
So
McAllister.
He was my number 2 prospect.
I don't know if that's how you spell McAllister, but
No, I think it's whatever. I think it's
there's an I in it.
McCallister.
all right, we'll go with that.
Go with
And it
that.
fits better.
That's a good one, though. I mean, that's a good one.
So-
She abandons her kids on Christmas. I guess that's the kind of mom you want, Israel.
I mean,
Right.
but she goes above and beyond.
To get back.
Get
get him
back to her kids.
Right.
Her kid.
I mean,
She rode with John Candy in
he's the polka king of
the polka,
Yeah.
polka,
in the
polka.
Midwest.
That's good.
My number 3, and if I'm not going to give her character name because you won't know it, was Mila Kunis from Bad Moms Christmas.
Oh, I almost had her. I almost wrote her down. That was a toss up for me.
When I was looking at it and I was talking to Megan about it, Megan mentioned that movie, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go with her. And I'll be honest, it was 100% based on looks.
I agree. Same thing here. I was like, I always liked her. She was always hot. She'd probably be pretty cool. I mean, she's not the best mom in that movie, but it definitely is.
She's a bad
she's
mom.
a bad mom, but I mean,
Yep.
I almost that's probably my 4, Bush, because she was right there. I put somebody else from another kind of askew movie for my 3rd one.
Right. Mrs. Parker was my 4.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Parker.
so hold on. So did you have McAllister too?
Yeah, I had my top 3 were Ellen, Kate McAllister, and then Amy Redmond Mitchell, which is Mila Kunis, and then
Okay,
my 4th was Mrs. Parker.
okay. So yeah, so pretty close there. Isra, who else did you have as
You're looking at my top 3.
you have Mrs. Parker too? Wow, man. It's right.
Again, I didn't have Mrs. Parker. I had the mom from the
Mom
Christmas
from
Carol.
Yeah.
Who was yours, Lee? Because you said you had some from some other movie.
Oh, so I had Sarah Whitaker. I don't know if you guys have you seen Daddy's Home too?
Yeah,
She's
Sarah.
She's the wife who is with Will Ferrell, but was also with Marky
Marky
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
she's the mom from that. So
That's pretty solid.
she's a good looking girl. Plus, I mean, she had 2 pretty good looking dads with Will Ferrell, and yeah, thought she'd be good. But I had to go with the other one first.
Nice.
Like, it was a tie. She was like a 3A and 3B with your girl from Bad Moms. Those are who were my top 2, just from like a random movie.
Nice.
All right,
All right.
Child. We're gonna. So I get first pick of Child. I got to look at my list.
You're up. You got who you going with Rusty or what? You gonna take Rusty or are you gonna
Just
take
mess with you.
what's
I got to tell you, I will be honest. I don't have any children from Christmas Vacation on here, so you're
Yeah.
safe.
Wow.
what's
or are
Rusty?
you?
What was her name? Audrey.
Audrey, yeah. No, I'm taking a big child for this one. I'm going with Buddy the Elf, man.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh.
I mean, I mean, he was
I mean,
That qualifies.
yeah,
technically. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole movie.
He's eligible.
He's going to see his dad the whole movie. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's a kid.
that's
He's
true.
technically
Wow,
a
good
child.
call.
He's a grown
Yeah.
child,
Very good
but
call.
that's how we find out. I mean, I had to go.
I mean, he meets the criteria to be drafted. So
That's right.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Very well played. Well thought out.
Yep, there you go.
Isbert to you.
Oh man. So all mine are open right now.
The child from. I don't have a name.
Right,
It's
yeah.
just the child from the
Child
Santa
from.
Claus.
I got names. Man. I don't know. I hate to do this to you, Matt. Gotta go
Hey,
Rusty
Russ,
Griswold.
huh?
Oh,
Gotta go Russ.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't think it'd fall to me, but I'm happy to get him.
He wasn't even on my board.
Really good talk,
Wow.
Russ.
Hey, Russ. Right here, Dad.
Yeah.
Get ready to- Oh, I got to think. Yeah.
Not even on my board. All right. Well,
But let's see.
once again, my number 1 prospect is going to fall to me here.
Yeah.
Kevin McAllister.
Oh, bring
Yeah,
it on.
he's on there for me.
I'll spell it the same way, even if it's wrong.
Yeah, go ahead. My for what it's worth, my 2 and 3 were siblings. You want to take a guess at who they might have been?
2 and 3 were siblings. I'm trying to think.
Not a Griswold either.
Cartoon or real?
Real.
Real siblings.
Top
Wait,
10 top 10 movie.
Boy and girl.
Boys.
2 boys and a top 10 movie. Stumped.
Ralphie and Randy Parker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Ralphie was
Ralphie
on
was
mine.
on.
Ralphie Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ralphie, Rusty, and Kevin were my 3.
Okay. Who were your 3 lead?
I had Ralphie, Buddy, and then I had Cindy Lou Who.
Okay.
I threw a girl on
That's
there.
good.
I had to get a girl
Sure.
on there. So
All right.
Had I thought of Buddy the Elf being a child? I probably would have bumped him
Yeah.
up to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a sneaky one.
Leva's
That was
pulling out some dual threats here.
Yeah, that was a steal.
Because you're
That
one
was
of
a
your
good
other
pick.
one. I think it was who said Scott Calvin was.
Well,
there.
I was going to use that as my dad. I was going to use Scott Calvin because then I could have two
Yeah.
Santas on my list. But he was like that flex player. Like I could have stuck him in there.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Position,
But
yeah.
that's all right.
maybe we'll have to
Excellent.
consider that for future
draft category.
drafts. Yeah.
Flex. All right, so we can start back over to Isbert. You get the pet.
Back to me.
Pets was kind of an interesting one. I got to be honest. Like I struggled a little bit with pets.
It was. I found myself going either like nostalgia or like way off the reservation. I chose nostalgia, and I'm going with Snoopy.
Ah, that's a good one.
Okay.
I didn't even think of that. That's a good one. Snoopy's a great one.
I think that's a great one. I think that's a sleeper pick.
That's a solid
sleeper.
definitely
I mean,
solid pick.
From Charlie Brown Christmas, you got to go Snoopy.
Yeah.
So
Good one. Good pick. It wasn't
All right.
on my radar. I was trying
Nope.
to real like not even on my radar. That was a good one.
not on my board at all. All right, I'm gonna go with the Bumpus Hounds.
Oh, that was on my list. I definitely
Yeah,
had
that's my number one again. Number one prospect at that
all your
position.
number one picks. It's impressive.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
It's been a good draft order for you.
All right.
Bumpus Hounds definitely was on mine.
Yep.
They actually were my number one. They were in my number one spot.
Ooh, look at that! I
Yeah,
kind of
that
stole.
that was a steal. I think that was the first steal that there was. I'm going with another animated one from the Simpsons Christmas special. Anybody remember the dog's name?
Oh, Santa's Little Helper.
Santa's Little Helper. Yeah.
Where did they get him from?
I can't remember that.
They got him from the dog track.
From the dog track. You're right. Yes.
If I remember correctly, that's like one of the first seasons. I think they went to the dog track.
So yeah, it was like I had to look it up because I remember him and I was like, was it really called a Simpsons Christmas special? So I think it was like season 1, episode 8. So it was their first season of The Simpsons ever.
Yep.
And like it's
Homer blew the money at the track, right?
Yeah. I forget what it's called, but it's like it's not really called a Christmas special. They called it something else.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is. But yeah, so I think he takes him from because he owed like a debt to the track or something like that, and he gets
Yep, that's a great pick.
Yeah. Isbert, since you started, who else did you have on your list?
I had Buzz's Tarantula
Creative.
from Home Alone, and then I had Snots
Snot.
Okay.
from
Christmas Vacation, yeah.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah. Christmas Vacation, you could have went with you could have went with Snots, or you could have went with the cat.
Yeah.
Or you
Or
could
the
have went.
squirrel.
Yeah. Or you could have went squirrel.
Yeah. They had three choices there.
Where's Eddie at? Doesn't he usually eat these things?
Oh, not anymore, Clark. I read that they're high in cholesterol.
I had Gizmo from the Gremlins, and then I went Max from the Grinch.
Oh, yeah. Max is a good one too.
Yeah.
He helps him out. I think Isbert disagree with Gizmo. He's not.
Yeah.
Not
I would never. It wasn't even on my top 10.
My other one was a stretch. I don't know if you guys ever saw the Santa Buddies movie, where they have like the little talking dogs. They're like they're all little like golden retrievers. So I went with I just put Santa Buddies, but if I had to pick one, Butterball, he was always my favorite because he got in trouble because he ate all the food all the time. So he was on Santa's naughty list for eating all the food.
Nice.
Sorry, I know that, but
Yep.
Good ones, pets. All right, so mythological creatures coming up next.
Yep.
You get to lead us off, Bush. So you get the first choice at mythological creature.
All right. So I'm gonna throw myself a curveball. I'm not actually gonna take my
Not
first.
taking your number one, huh?
I'm gonna take my number one. I'm gonna go with the Abominable Snowman.
Oh, he was my number 2, so that's good.
We just want to call him Bumble.
Bumble, yeah, let's call him Bumble.
Call him Bumble. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
And who would have known? I mean, it was just because his teeth hurt. That's why he was mad. He just
Right.
went to the dentist, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good one. I got 2 to go from here. I don't know if I go weird or unknown. So
I'd get weird.
Go weird?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going with
Or
Krampus.
unknown.
Oh, that's my number 2.
I'm taking Krampus, man.
Yes.
Now, did you ever see it? Have you watched Krampus?
So not to
No.
get.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I haven't watched it. I wanted to. Like, I
I-
saw a trailer for it, and I was like, I want to watch this, but I don't think anybody will watch it with me.
I have not watched it, but the reason I thought of Krampus is because he is in Red One.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Haven't seen it. But
Yeah, he's isn't he like the bad guy or something like that in Red
He's
One?
in the he's in the trailer.
Yeah,
so.
I've seen him in the trailer. Yeah,
Yep.
but
So
like
I'm
the
not giving in.
the real Krampus movie, like we watched a trailer.
Animated.
We watched a trailer the other day. Probably not the other day. It was weeks ago when we were like trying to look for something, and I didn't want to watch Christmas yet because I don't think it was like Christmas season. But I was like, why don't we watch Krampus? But it has like the guy. It has like a lot of famous people in it. Like the guy from Parks and Rec, who's also in Step Brothers. It's his his real brother in Step Brothers. I can't remember the actor that plays him, but
George C. Riley.
no, not him, but like Will Ferrell's real brother in there, like not his stepbrother, but his real brother in the movie.
Oh,
Dark hair.
he was in. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The Parks and Scott.
Yeah.
Is his last name Scott?
No, I don't know, but him. Like he's in that movie. And then
Adam Scott is his name.
Adam Scott. And then there's a couple other famous people in it too. I was like, oh wow, there's like famous people in this movie. And then the Krampus comes along and like kills a bunch of people. It's pretty funny.
Was that a cartoon or is that a real movie?
It's like a real movie. Like it's like a horror movie, basically.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All
right, Isber.
All right. With so all mine are available.
Okay.
Which is
Shocker.
good.
Surprise.
Shocker. I'm gonna go with Rudolph.
Rudolph's a good one.
Quality. That was he was actually my first prospect, and I chose to go different.
Yeah, I mean,
you went with the bad guy Rudolph. Isber went with the hero of Rudolph. Like it's like
That's
you guys
right.
both from the Rudolph movie.
Yeah, he's gonna get you a lot of points.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
he's
think so. I mean, he's gonna light it up.
multi-talented.
See what I did there?
I didn't hear you because Bush was talking. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. I think he's gonna light it up.
There, that's going very
Yep.
Man, I should have played the little rim shot thing there for the joke.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So top of the Bush. Who were your three?
My three were Rudolph, Krampus, Abominable Snowman.
Yeah, I had
Leba?
Abominable, Krampus is on there, and then I had the one that I said that was like a little. It was odd. It was off the wall. There's a reindeer named Thrasher in Prep and Landing, which is a little Disney show. He's like this. He's like a badass like reindeer. He has like I don't know. He's like the tough reindeer. He was pretty cool. So I went with him. I went a little off. Like instead of Rudolph, I went for like this other reindeer. That's where I went for.
Nice.
So Isber, what were yours? You said you had all three.
Yeah, I had Rudolph, Frosty the Snowman, and I went with Mr. Narwhal.
Yeah, from Elf, Mr. Narwhal. That's a good one.
Mr. Narwhal.
Except he's not mythical. There's real things. Narwhals are real.
But he's Mr.
I guess because he talks. So.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Thanks, Mr.
Oh, that whale-looking thing, right?
Yeah, it's the whale with the horn. You don't know what a narwhal is? Come on, Bush.
No.
Your girls had to like
But I'm happy
narwhals at
Rudolph
some
fell to me.
time.
Yeah, I'm happy Rudolph fell to me. I'm good.
That was good. That was a good one.
Quality.
Oh, Santa's going to be tough.
Santa is tough.
Let me get my cursor over here.
This is you, Lebo.
Ooh. I feel like I got three solid Santas to pick from here, and it's hard for me to put a number one on them. And they might be, I feel like two of them you guys won't have at all. So I might go with one of those two. Struggling. All right, I think I'm going to go with the cartoon one. His name was North, and it was from Rise of the Guardians. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie or not, but
I have seen that. It's been a while.
Yeah, but it has like it has the Easter Bunny in it, Tooth Fairy. He plays North, which is like the Santa. Alec Baldwin does his voice. Jack Frost is in it. He's cool. He has like tattoos, like he carries like these big like swords around. Like he's Russian. He's like a pretty badass Santa Claus. So I'm going with him. I'm going to take him as my number one.
That's awesome. What was that movie? I gotta watch.
It's a cartoon. It's called Rise of the Guardians. It's a cartoon.
Yeah,
it's a good cartoon. Liam would like it actually. Like it's really good.
Yeah.
Pitch Black is like the boogeyman, and he's coming trying to like steal people's dreams and like turn the world dark and take their dreams away. And so like all the whatever they're called creatures, magical people, they have to like stop him and save, like make kids believe again and that kind of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great.
I will be looking.
Yeah,
into
it's a good one. Our kids liked it when they were younger. It still holds up. Right. Like we watch it still. It holds up.
Yeah, I will be looking into it.
All right.
Unless it's on Apple TV.
It's probably exclusively on Apple TV.
Probably exclusive. All right. Glad you didn't steal. I got to go with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
And the Santa Claus.
Scott Calvin, huh?
I mean, Scott Calvin.
Got Calvin.
Yeah, he was
Good pick.
he was on my number 1 spot, but I kind of threw a switch and jumped to my number 2. But
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
my number
good.
1.
yeah, he is. I think we said it earlier as the dad. Like he is the Santa. I mean, he is Santa. Play the
Yeah.
perfect Santa Claus. Like just looks
Did it great. Yeah.
Yep. All parts of it good. All right, so then Bush, what do you have? What's your next pick?
So I'm gonna go with my number 2 prospect, and this is character's name, or the actor's name is David Huddleston. So it's he's the Santa Claus from Santa Claus the movie with Dudley Moore.
Dudley Moore and everything. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's going with Santa.
Yeah, I liked him because he was a very like wholesome looking Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you see him, you're like, that's Santa.
That's Santa Claus.
Yes, like back in the day, I agree. Watching that movie, thinking like, this is like Santa to a T. Like whoever the actor was. Yeah, I agree.
Bigger framed guy, like big, like bushy, grayish, white beard. Perfect.
Big belly that was jiggled like a bowl full of jelly.
Jelly. Yeah.
I would agree.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably a good one.
And then my third, which we haven't even mentioned this movie, I don't think at all today, would be Paul Giamatti.
Yep, he plays Nick.
Yeah.
Fred Claus, man.
Fred Claus.
Yeah, Fred Claus would probably be a top 10. Like we were talking earlier, I forgot.
Really? You putting Fred up that high?
Yeah, I like.
Good movie.
I think he's pretty. I don't know. I think it's a good movie.
It's good. It is.
Yeah.
Good flick.
I'm just trying to think of ones that we watch a lot. That's in there. Four Christmases is in there. There's like some that it's like, like we don't watch them with the kids anymore because they don't want to hang out with us. But I try to think of ones like Ann and I will watch together that we like, and that's definitely that one like holds up without the kids having to watch it because it's just like I don't know. Kevin Spacey's in there before he got in trouble, so I mean, there's like that whole
that's right.
It's
right.
But
so
he was my other one. So those are my three: North, Scott Calvin, and Paul Giamatti as Nick.
What'd you have, Is?
I had the Santa for Miracle on 34th. It's again wholesome. Same premise.
Yeah.
Same as your guy Bush. Tim Allen, Scott Calvin, and Elf Santa, who is
Ed Asner,
famous
actor.
Ed Asner.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, he played a good Santa too. I'd say. Like he
did
for like modern times. He made a really good looking Santa.
Yeah.
I would say I don't think Paul Giamatti looked like a good Santa, but I liked the story of like him and the growing up and Fred Claus. Like I just like the story of like him and Santa in that one. That's why he was on my list, but that's why I didn't pick him as my top because I don't think he looked great as Santa. Could have been
valid.
I was thinking about something that's very funny, and I'll have to send you guys the picture. I have to get it off of Mila. But you know, in the Santa Claus 3 with Jack Frost,
Mm-hmm.
you got Martin Short.
Mm-hmm.
So last week we had a funeral that we had to attend in Johnstown, and the director of the funeral home looked like Jack Frost to a T.
Really? Yeah.
He had on a navy blue pinstripe suit with like these real wide pinstripes. Like, hey, like we've all seen pinstripe suits, and they're usually like very thin, very like not like jumping off the pants. These were like very wide pinstripes, very spaced apart. He had the hair, like he had like it was a 3-piece suit that he had on.
He had blue hair. Blue spiky hair.
It was not blue, but it was like blackish gray.
Yeah.
So I'll send you guys the picture.
Oh, that's awesome.
When I can.
Right.
So I should have had it prior to, but
hey, that's all right. You send it to me. We'll get it put on here in the editing. Don't worry. We take care of that in post production. We'll share it with all the fans. I mean, I think that's a pretty good list for everybody. Those are pretty good.
I think those are pretty solid lists.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I like. I mix in a little bit of badassery with a little bit of nostalgia, so I'm happy there.
Yeah.
If I had to vote, I think I would probably vote on Isber's list. I'm just looking at reviewing the names. I mean, because you got John McClane and Scott Calvin. Those are probably two strong male people on your team.
I mean, you're right. Kate McAllister did forget her kid, but she does. She goes through hell to get back.
Yeah.
She redeems herself. Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. I mean, Ellen, quintessential wife, supports her man
No matter what.
Yeah.
no matter what.
No matter what.
Good choices,
no,
man.
there's some good lists. I think
It's fun.
Yeah, I think Buddy the Elf was a good loophole. Not even a loophole, but good working in
Yeah.
the system.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even think of him, and
Right.
that'd have been a good pick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. I like the draft
Me
pick.
too. Good idea, guys. I'm glad our executive producer told us to come back and do another one of these shows.
Whose idea? It was your idea for the
draft.
The draft, yeah.
Your idea was the top 10.
Yeah.
Israel's idea was to allow you to be on the show, Matt.
Yeah.
So you got to thank him for that.
He supported the idea from the get-go. I mean, there wasn't even a lot of details.
He was right in on the Christmas episode. I got to tell you, I was a little hesitant. So.
Yes.
I'm glad we did it, though.
Agreed. It's been advertised, and hopefully we'll get some
viewers,
traction,
get some viewers, get some
comments.
maybe,
Maybe some.
Yeah, hey, if you're watching, I mean, for our subscribers out there, share it with any of your family and friends that are friends of Christmas movies and Christmas actors, and feel free to add any randoms in the comments and let us know your thoughts on any of them too. You could always weigh in on the Die Hard, conversation. Isber, before we sign off here, just a quick question. What are you drinking today?
Man, I was gonna mix it up, and then I decided to sticking with the Bullet bourbon. Original. I want to get the sponsorship. Yeah. Sticking with the Bullet.
That's awesome.
You?
I went with the Turners. As you can see, I got my Turners tee, ugly Christmas sweater on. So stick with the Turners Icy Light. Two great things that taste great together. How about you, Bush? What are you drinking tonight?
I went with usually one of my staple drinks, Jim Beam and ginger ale.
It's good. Nice.
Good
times.
So, Bullet people, if you're listening,
I'm
still drinking it.
Still drinking it. Still supporting it. Still promoting it.
Still supporting it. Yep. But no, good show, guys. I'm glad we got to hang out, and we had a lot of good topics, a lot of good talk about Christmas movies and characters of those Christmas movies.
Yeah. So I guess
this was fun.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, and let's go Steelers, right?
Let's go
to win.
Yep. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Maybe we'll come back and do a Super Bowl special if the Steelers get that far.
That's right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Keep our fingers crossed. We'll see.
Cool. Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and
cheers, boys.
Happy Hanukkah to everyone.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, boys.
Everything. Yep.
Cheers. Cheers to 30 years.
30 more, hopefully.
Cheers to 30 more.
Yep.
Absolutely.